what are the design goals and the design difficulties of such a DSL? In fact, we want to have a language which is rich enough to describe all kinds of payoffs we want to be able to describe, but which should not be richer than necessary, not more complex than necessary, because any superfluous complexity will make any later tools that are manipulating this DSL much more complex. So we have to find the right equilibrium between expressiveness of the language and simplicity of the language, something we needed many years to achieve at LexiFi. Once we have understood and implemented this generic contract description language for payoffs of structured products, we can ask ourselves, what are the real advantages of doing so? How are we differentiating from our competitors? And so, let me here take a simple analogy. If you take some car makers who are offering many different kind of cars, they are always trying to build these cars on a small number of different platforms. So LexiFi made the choice of having only one platform. We put everything on the same language, on the same platform. We have even a dedicated group of engineers inside LexiFi who are only working on enhancing this shared platform. So we are in some kind of way, we are always enhancing our own productivity tool. And so having this unique description which contains all the semantics of the contract, a complete description, allows of course to implement in a completely generic way any functionality that we want to implement. Take as an example quant functionality, pricing. Let's make it simple. So instead of creating pricing functions for any kind of structured products, for an autocall, for a reverse convertible or whatever, we are creating only one pricing function that treats immediately, by definition, all contracts which can be described in the LexiFi solution. Similarly, on the other side, for the input, let's take, for instance, the example where we want to include an external format so that it becomes readable by the LexiFi solution. We will only write one little converter, a system that will take this external description and transform it into our internal unique contract representation. Therefore, a contract that is imported in this way becomes immediately indistinguishable from any other contracts that are manipulated in the LexiFi solution. And it will immediately profit from all the applications and from all the kind of manipulations that we can do with any kind of contracts in the LexiFi solution. Allow me to come back a short moment on lifecycle management of contracts. One should understand that once you have a precise, semantically complete description of the payoff of a contract, lifecycle management derives in a quasi-automatic way from the availability of this description. For instance, future contract events are deduced easily from such a contract description. In the same way, applying a management step, for instance a fixing, you suddenly know a fixing that is necessary for managing this contract, is nothing else than transforming your contract description where you modify, where you replace an unknown by a known value. Therefore, you obtain a new contract description which reflects the resolution of the uncertainty. And this new contract description can itself be again used as an input for all the functionalities I mentioned earlier. You get a system that is by construction compatible and which incorporates in a correct way the life cycle management of all your contracts.